Switch over to our rapid fire questions now. So these ones, like I said, they're going to be shorter answers. You can do yes or no. If you feel the need to explain a little bit, you can, but please don't go over like 10 seconds. All right. First question, we'll start with Bruce. Would you be in favor of eliminating the filibuster if elected?
No, of course not. I did my own 33-hour filibuster, so I'll do that every week if you send me down there.
Perfect. Question number 2. Have you seen 2,000 Mules? Kevin?
Yes.
Don?
Yes.
Bruce?
Yes, love it.
Okay. Third question. Don, would you approve money for a COVID tracking database?
Hell no.
Absolutely not.
Kevin?
No way.
All right. Number 4. Back to you, Bruce. If elected, who will you support for Speaker of the House?
Anybody other than Mitch McConnell.
Speaker of the House? Speaker of the House or Senate President?
Speaker of the House.
Oh, Speaker of the House. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you meant Senate.
Let's pray Mitch McConnell isn't in. So is there anyone that you would support, anyone that sticks out?
Thomas Massey.
Okay. Thank you for answering. Kevin?
No, I'm concentrating on the Senate and getting elected to the Senate.
Anybody that you comes to mind for
They got tough choices over there, just like over in the Senate. I can't give you anybody.
Okay, they're pleading the fifth. I got it. Okay, next question. We already kind of covered that one. Would you support abolishing the FBI? We already said yes.
Yes.
And then put 2 no's. So you want reform?
It needs to be reformed from top to bottom.
Okay. Reform. All right. Would you support repealing Section 230 protections for big tech companies? Don, sorry.
Yes.
Bruce?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Should Antifa and BLM be designated domestic terrorist organizations? Who do we start with?
Yeah, they should. Like I said, it shouldn't matter. We shouldn't have government getting in, even though we dislike them. That was used against Ron Paul people just a few years ago. Government shouldn't be doing it at all.
That's fair enough. Kevin?
I think any agency that advocates or promotes violence on people or destruction of property should be.
Just not the FBI. I'm just kidding. Should Antifa BLM be a designated domestic terrorist organization?
Right, I already answered that question earlier. Yes.
Okay, thank you guys. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. We'll start with you, Kevin. What news do you watch?
When I have time to watch news these days, primarily Fox.
Fox, okay.
I watch Fox primarily, but I have to watch them all to know what the enemy's doing.
I watch as little as possible. I try and go directly to the source whenever possible. If I see an article, I try and find the exact lawsuit or piece of paper that they're talking about, or close to the source as possible, because the news is completely unreliable.
So, if you know, are any of you familiar with like alternative sources of media besides the mainstream Fox? Like, I work for one.
Yes. Yep. I follow yours.
All right. So what? Let's hear. Because there's a few.
You know what times? Reason Magazine.
Okay, yeah, there's a couple. OAN, Right Side Broadcasting. I want to name drop for it, especially if people in the audience aren't familiar. Real America's Voice, Right Side Broadcasting, One American News Network, Newsmax. I'm not a huge fan, but like Epic Times, like you mentioned, these are great sources of information. Same with Just the News. John Solomon does great work. I would recommend all of you start following and expanding sort of your information sources. So that's a question there. Should we end our membership in the United Nations? Don?
The United Nations is in collaboration with Chinese Communist Party. In my 33 years in the military, Afghanistan and 28 countries in Africa, and they are dangerous to the freedoms and liberty of America.
Yes, we shouldn't be in the UN. I agree that it is. It's been tragic what they have caused throughout the world.
Yeah, the UN and the WHO parroted all of the Chinese propaganda during the pandemic. Absolutely, we should not be a member.
And that would save us another agency of the government, you know, the UN ambassador.
Another one, will you vote to impeach Merrick Garland? We start with Kevin.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Bunch here. All right. If elected, when you come back to New Hampshire, will you allow the Government Integrity Project to host a town hall event?
Absolutely!
100%. I've been very accessible during the campaign. I'll be very accessible when I win.
Yeah, I've known Ken Iron for 10 years. He's got me on speed dial, so the answer is yes.
We asked this question yesterday. It was very fun. It should be interesting. We start with you, Don.
Me? Oh.
Yeah. What is a woman?
What is a woman?
Yes.
All right, second row, second seat.
What is a woman?
A female adult human able to bear children and feed children. And we cannot allow simple words like that to be redefined. We just simply can't keep that.
Been married to one of the finest for 19 years, my wife Susan. And you know what? Wait, can I just say, I gotta shout out to another great woman, and that's my mom, who's also in the
Hey, Mom! My mom's up there. She's looking down on us.
Let's see. I got some more questions here. Do you favor removing Mitch McConnell? Who do we start with before?
Want to start with me?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, his red flag is just the latest in a long string of very bad decisions, and I think the Republican Party needs a new face, a face of liberty.
I think we need new leadership in the Senate.
All right. And do you support the overturning of Roe v. Wade? Bruce?
Yes.
The overturning of Roe v. Wade?
Yes, it should be a state issue.
Yes, I agree. It's federalism. It's not in the Constitution. It's back where it belongs. That's to the states.
All right. And Don?
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we've gone through all of our questions here. So now let's give them a round of applause. I feel like but thank you guys again for coming out and for Ken for putting this on. Yeah, we have a 2-minute closing statement, so I was just going to give them one more round of applause before then, because again, there are candidates that want your vote but that chose not to address you here today, and I think it speaks volumes for all three of these candidates here for actually coming out regardless of where they stand, but just for giving you the opportunity to hear from them. Fenton, we're now going to be going in reverse order. So Don, you have 2 minutes now to tell everyone why they should vote for you in this upcoming primary.
Well, we had some great questions asked here and some tough questions, and I want to thank my 2 Republican opponents up here on the stage for being up here. Now, I got to cover one issue. It's been written a lot in the inaccurate news media that I'm an angry person. You're damn right I'm angry. I'm a reflection of you. I'm a reflection of Granite Staters. Granite staters are angry because of the economy, inflation, out of control spending, and the fact that their children are not being educated properly and they are left out there on their own. This must stop. It's about God, family, community, country. They have undermined over the last 40, 50 years all of our institutions, and they're now working on the military institution. Before you know it, we are going to be a country of unlimited government. We will no longer be a country of self-governance. We will no longer be a country of the people, by the people, for the people. We will be a country governed by benevolent benefactors who have placed themselves above you at your expense and the expense of your family. We cannot allow that. I have the experience. The one question that hasn't been asked is the most important. How do you know I'm not going to be a turncoat when I go down there? Well, there's a memorial right there on the stage. 72 men and women that I lost in combat. And I promise them that I will serve you. And I will be your United States Senator. And we will, together, bring God, family, community, and strength in this country. God bless you. God bless America. And let's do it now, baby.
Thank you, Heather, and I'd like to thank the Government Integrity Project as well for putting on this forum, and especially thank both Bruce and Don for joining me here today. You know, in less than a month, you got a very big decision to make on September 13th. We're going to need the strongest conservative candidate with a conservative record to go up against Maggie Hassan this fall. And when you go into the privacy of that voting booth, ask yourself this question. Who do you want to see on that debate stage with Maggie Hassan, mano a mano, making the case and articulating to the voters why she and her failed record does not deserve another term in the United States Senate? You know, everywhere I've gone around the state, I've called myself a kitchen table conservative because I'm talking to folks that they're so concerned about today around their kitchen table. And it's the issues that Maggie hasn't been representing us on, whether it's security at the border, the prices at the gas pump, parental rights and education. Maggie hasn't done anything about these issues. Maggie hasn't done anything about election integrity either. And that is why this election is so pivotal and so critical. And so I hope to earn your vote, if you haven't made up your mind yet, between now and September 13th. Because I started off by saying that we need both a conservative fighter, but someone who's got a record of getting results too. Someone who's got a record of fixing these problems. So I hope to earn your trust, hope to earn your respect, hope to earn your vote on September 13th. And then as a party united, we will defeat Maggie Hassan in November. We will stop Joe Biden's socialist agenda. And again, we will make our conservative voice matter again in the United States Senate. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you to the organizers. Thank you to the other candidates for coming in tonight. We are in times of epic change, and I urge people to not vote as if this was 1996 or 2019. What they pulled on us over the last couple of years is unprecedented, and if we do not send a message down there, they will do it again. And meetings like this may not even happen. They'll make your kids wear those political signals again. They'll try and fire your nurses again. If we give them a mandate that this is okay, they will come back and do it even worse. And that is absolutely unacceptable. That would mean the end of our country as we know it. We must fight like we've never fought before. We must send a message to Washington. I am that message. I've been a disruptor all my life. I will go down there and send a message that they will never forget. I want to thank my family, my four beautiful children and my wife here. I'm willing to leave these beautiful people in this second row in my beautiful farm to go down there 124 days a year to that viper-infested swamp. And I don't want to go down there, but I will do it. I'll do it for you if you send me down there. And if you do, I will do exactly what I say to every single audience that I meet in New Hampshire. If you send me down there, I will fight without exception, without fail, and without compromise against tyranny, against central control, against China-style politics, against expansion of our government, against expansion of our tax base, and for the Constitution, human rights, human freedom, and our Bill of Rights. Every single time, without fail, without exception. I have the best chance of winning. I can bring in the independents. I can even bring in some of the Democrats who still are against war and against our failed drug war. And I can certainly bring in the Libertarians and the Free Staters, who, by the way, were 41,000 votes last time when Maggie only won by 1,000 votes. We cannot allow that to happen. I'm the best candidate to face her on the debate stage. I'm the best candidate to face her in November, and I would appreciate your support. My name is Bruce Fenton. Thank you very much.
So great today, including like handling my questions. Like can be a little rough, so thank you all for your contribution today. Thank you, Ken, for putting all of this. He's been working around the clock to put on these debates for you guys. So he really is like the man of the hour.
Thank you to everybody, and that's not true. We have a great team of volunteers. It's a team effort, but thank you for the acknowledgement on behalf of our group. And thank you to these awesome candidates. I would like to hear your thoughts about whether you think one of these three guys are going to be the next GOP nominee for US Senate. Before I go into the last couple of loose ends of things I'd like to talk about, Emily had asked if she could come up here and just make one last pitch for us.
Thank you to everyone who did the raffle 50-50 split. Yesterday we raised, I think, 566. We're at 580. I would like to see if these candidates, yesterday I asked the same thing. Would you guys like to buy $20 in raffle tickets? We're trying to get it up to 600, so if each of you would give $20 to split this, that'd be great, and we'll pull the winner in about 3 minutes.
Can I Venmo it to you?
We can accept that. I'll go get the QR code, but thank everyone else in
$20, please.
Yeah, $20 for all the families. We'll be pulling this in about 5 minutes. That's going to get their money, tear their tickets, and then we'll stick around and I'll pull the winner, and you guys will be going home with like over $300.
Thank you, Emily. So, I want to thank Heather as well. I'd like for everybody here to give her a huge standing ovation and appreciation.
I took this very seriously. When you reached out to me and you're like, and you asked if I would moderate this, you know, with what the state of our country right now, I feel like we cannot afford to make mistakes. So when I came here and I had the ability to help formulate some of these questions for you guys have your work cut out for you. Like, our country is under attack on like an 1,000-front war right now. And I pray for whichever one of you end up going down there, that you really truly don't lose sight of this country and you stand and fight for it like to the end. And I'm going to be praying for you guys, because there's no shortage of bribery, corruption, blackmail, all sorts of stuff down there. I mean, I cover it for a living. And, you know, I don't know how many times people ask me, like, am I afraid to do what I do? But it's a lot worse when you guys are the ones in the position to make some of these positions. So hats off to you and best of luck to whoever goes down there.
I would also like to thank all of the people who volunteered to help make this event and the event yesterday possible. There's dozens of people who have stepped up and helped. It's not an easy task, but it's a very important task. So, and I want to thank you, the people who came today, because you have an interest in making sure that you cast an informed vote to pick the right person to go to Washington and to help us make sure that we can have someone who's going to represent us properly, represent us, and serve for us, not expect us to serve for them.
Crop